Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because we're all in this together. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm good. Things are good here. Samantha's been here all
John,
week.
special lady friend.
She's my special lady friend. I said, will we be having an appearance of you on the show today? She said, no. So she came in on Friday. And to be honest with you, there was a lot of things that I've learned as far as doing work and everything. I just realized that I like getting up in the morning and getting things done. So I would get up, and when I would first wake up, I would get up just early, and I would come in here and I would do editing and stuff, and for like 2 or 3 hours. And then Sam likes to sleep late, so she was sleeping late. She's on vacation. When she would get up, we would have breakfast and make breakfast and do all that. So I got a good chunk of stuff done early, and I like that. So it's given me a more accountability, set a schedule. What are these things?
Well, we talked about proactive. Is that kind of kicking into gear, being proactive in the mornings? Because for me, I found that really helps out the rest of my day.
Well, last time Sam was here, I had so much work that it was I was working the whole time. And I swore that I wouldn't do it this time. So I told all my clients, if you can, give me stuff early because I want to work on it. I don't know what, but I seem to have a lot of new clients wanting to come on and stuff like that. So it's been busy, but I've set boundaries, and I'm not letting people make their problems my problems. In other words, I'll help, but someone told me once, and I think this was I was in an advertising class in college. This was before you were born.
83?
No, this was before you were born. It was like in 82. So this is so crazy. And what he said was that I'll walk 2 miles for you, but you need to walk the first mile. So in other words, if you don't want to help yourself, I can't help you. And I find a lot of times that is what we do as editors too. If you don't want to help yourself, I don't know what to tell you. Like I'll do everything, bend over backwards to get you to where you need to be. But if you don't even want to help yourself, then I'm not going to waste my time and energy. So I think, setting these kind of boundaries and then talking to people and not letting them make their problems your problems. Now, let's get to you, because as soon as we got on this morning, I could tell you had a bit of a week.
I want to know how you could tell. Funny. Is it like my hair? Is it my face? The fact I forgot makeup? Or just the fact that you follow me on Instagram, and this is interesting, is when I look busy on Instagram, it means I'm busy with Instagram. But if I'm not on Instagram, I'm legit busy.
So one of the things about Samantha being here is I really haven't been on social media. Okay. So I have really not been following people. I mean, my phone is, sometimes I can't find my phone normally. My phone is on me at all times. It's always to my left or my right. The past couple of days, I'm like, where's my phone? I would leave it somewhere and not know where it's at. So it's weird, nicely weird this week.
It is nice. I'm looking forward to that. That's actually going to be my next week. Next week, the family and I are going to Disneyland across the country. Now, it would make sense, we're in Connecticut, that we would go down to Disney World down in Florida, but Mark's sister, Mark is my husband, his sister is out in California, so we're making it a big family trip. And somehow I got through the stress of Christmas and planning all of this at Christmas and thinking, well, if I could plan this during Christmas, it should be no big deal to do it in February. February is like ages away. And you know what? With 2020, January did make it seem like February was ages away. It was a long month. But now it's February, and now this vacation's coming up, and I found myself in what I called, when I was in theater, Hell Week. This was Hell Week for me. This was the week where, like, all right, we're leaving. We got to get everything ready and you got to be prepared and you have to be 100% on. And I also did this thing to myself where I set up a workshop, a live workshop, the week before I'm going on vacation. And so I'm prepping for that and I'm marketing for that and going crazy. And then that happens. And then also it became the perfect storm week. So that went and I was nervous for that. At the same time, I got Shark Week, which is what we affectionately call menstruation on this podcast. So there was that to contend with. And yeah, on top of the workshop, the Shark Week, and just the tensions being high, there was one day where everybody was at their wits' end. Like everybody involved in this vacation. I had my stuff going on. Mark had his stuff going on. He works in newspapers. So if you don't follow the news, it's been a pretty busy week for him.
You think?
Just a little bit. And you know what? We really don't talk about the news or current events on this show, and for good reason, because I was in newspapers for a long time, and God, you have to pay me at this point to talk about it because he brings it home. He can't get away from it. It's so hard. So he just brings it home. So on top of everything else, I'm just like, I have Shark Week and you're trying to talk to me about the impeachment trials. It's not going to happen. Like these two things cannot coexist in my mind. There's not enough bandwidth or room. Nope. Sorry.
It was funny. I know you're not following this, but
yeah.
So yesterday, social media was on fire. It was absolutely on fire. It was one side versus the other side, and both sides were mad, and both sides were poking each other with the stick.
And they were already pre-mad because apparently everybody gets mad at the halftime show no matter who is performing. Come on, people, just give yourselves a break for 1 week. Just don't get mad at anything. Just let the world happen. All right? You can come back later. You don't have to get mad at every single thing. And I know I'm generalizing, but on top of this week, I'm just like, I don't have time for you, Twitter. Nope. None of you.
Well, the thing with the halftime show, to be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a phenomenal job. I love the dancing and everything. And because there was a poll there, all the Karens wanted to see the manager. And I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Then don't watch the halftime show. I don't know what to tell you. But everybody complains about something. So
there's a poll there. Meanwhile, we just talked about CTE, and I actually got to see what happens to those football players' brains the week before the Super Bowl from last week's episode. And I watched the Super Bowl and I kept thinking about CTE and all the stuff you were talking about, those concussions and those people's brains and Aaron Hernandez. And I'm just like, oh my, you people are mad about a stripper pole? Do you know what every time these guys clobber each other does to their brains? So I just so fed up with the world. So,
and I have to tell you, and just from last week, just a call back to last week. Last week I was talking as I do and yammering on as I do. And there was that point where I said I was having suicidal dreams, and I got so much messages from people that were reaching out to me saying, hey, this is what the dream could be. And I appreciate everything. And Samantha was kind of upset because I didn't tell her about it. And in here, I start sharing, and every time I think that I shouldn't say something, I just say it because other people might be having the same issues. So just so everybody knows, I'm fine. I'm not planning anything. I'm not. Yeah, it's just crazy dreams that I have, and I have other crazy dreams. But the ones with the suicide stuff was really making me. You'd wake up and you go, "Wow, where'd that come from?" Mm-hmm. So, and I just brought that up. I don't know, as I was talking, things just fly out of my mouth. So I didn't mean to upset anybody, or please don't worry about me. I'm fine. If there were ever a situation where I even thought about that, I would definitely go see somebody. But I have too many people here that care about me and want me to live longer, and I would never, ever do anything like that. So thank you so much, but I am fine.
And we appreciate everybody who reaches out, because that is one of those things in real life when you hear, you never want to be the person to be like, oh, I heard that and I thought they were joking. That was something when I was an RA in college. That was taken so seriously. Mm-hmm. And we got in trouble once because somebody was haphazardly joking. A resident that we knew was never a threat, and she was joking with us, and we were friendly with the residents, and we got in trouble. Somebody overheard who didn't know that report and was like, the RAs just sat there and laughed while a girl was talking about killing herself. And it was like, I know, like, we have to report every single one of those threats, unfortunately, in the world. Because, and not unfortunately, actually. I shouldn't say unfortunately. I mean, like, to the point where we never know anymore. And just to err on caution, you have to reach out, talk to somebody, and please, if you do have any of those thoughts, get help. We'll even put that information in the show notes.
Absolutely. There was time when I was on medication, and the side effects of the medication gave me those thoughts. And I was, I immediately went in, said, okay, how do we get me off of this? Saw a counselor, talked it over and stuff like that. So it's a real thing. And I said, there's so many people out there that love you and, are cheering for you. So I got a lot of people reaching out to me, and I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to bring that up and tell everybody that and that's the other thing. It's funny. I don't know what to say when people do that. I don't know how to react to that. I'm like, basically I'm fine, but all right, back to your dumpster fire of a week.
So that was the dumpster fire, but let me take you on an epic journey of how I tried to fix this dumpster fire on my own.
I feel like we need music underneath, like some kind of...
Yeah, no, I am going to take you on a journey, and it's a little bit ridiculous. So I got to the point the day where Mark and I were just looking at each other, and we are haggard and, like, just raw emotions. We can't even form sentences anymore because we have this almost 3-year-old who just does not shut up and makes zero sense, by the way. And he's just constantly talking to us and, like...
I'm sorry.
Just having, like, the worst day ever because his truck is wet. And we're just like, you don't even know the news, kid. Like, you don't know what suffering is. And then the 8-year-old who she knows she's going to Disney. That's just been it for the past, I don't know, however many weeks she's known we were going to Disney. So there's that. She's actually been wonderful. She's great. But the 3-year-old, the toddler, he has no idea what's going on. He doesn't know why we're all stressed. He doesn't understand, like, daddy's stressed about the news, mommy's stressed about work and trying to get ahead so we can have this goddamn vacation and love each other, goddammit. And so I got to the point where I was like, that's it. I need a drive. And Mark knows, like, he looks at me. He's like, do you need to go for a drive? Do we need bread or something? He'll look for something to send me out of the house because he knows, like, put her in a car and let her drive and she'll come back and she'll be able to formulate thoughts. So I did that. I went into the car, didn't want to listen to anything. And I was like, I'm going to drive and I'm going to go to that nice little forest that I always pass by when Cam's napping and I can't, like, get out and go to this little park area with a pond and a fence. And I always passed it, but Cam would be sleeping in the back seat. So finally I went by myself. I'm like, just go into the woods. I always feel better in the woods. I need to get some nature. I've been around the computers for too long. I live on the internet. No, I just need nature. So I went out into the woods. And then I started, like, really thinking and breathing and getting calm and getting perspective and thinking, okay, all this stuff, it's temporary. It's not going to last. All right, let me get woo. So I went and I got this giant rock and I held it in my hands and I'm thinking back to somebody I know through podcasting, Sophia, wise one. She does a podcast. Oh, I want to say it's called the Vagina Chronicles, but she changed it. But she's very woo. And she was talking at one point of letting things go. And she's like, and she says it so nonchalantly because she just does this all the time. She's like, just get a rock, picture the person you want to let go of and throw it into the ocean and get over it. So, like, me being like, okay, I don't really know any of these woo traditions. Let me just try this. So I get this rock and I start thinking of all the things that are making me feel guilty and heavy and, like, doing this whole visualization, like, okay, and I'm feeling the rock getting heavier. I'm putting all these emotions into the rock and I'm going to throw it in this pond. And I'm, like, really getting into it and being like, I'm going to feel so much better when this is gone. I'm going to have so much more perspective. And I heft it and it bounces on the fucking frozen pond, John. The giant rock just bounces. There's no satisfying splash. There's just a as it just slides across this calm pond that I did not know was frozen in 41-degree weather. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And of course I'm sitting there as, like, this sitcom moment. I'm picturing the crescendo of music and then, like, wah, wah, wah of this rock that I put all my emotions into, just bouncing on the water. And I got so pissed off. I just didn't know what to do at that point. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I am eating outside of my window. I don't know what else to do. There's got to be some. What do I want? Emily, just figure out what you want. We're going to go buy it and it's going to make you feel better. What do you want to eat, Emily? And I'm
not even sorry.
Yeah, I'm not even sorry. And I wanted a mall pretzel. The only thing I could think was, I want a fucking mall pretzel. I want it hot. I want it juicy. I want it delicious. Sopping with butter. I don't even know the words. I just want it covered in butter and salt and stuff. And I went to the mall. And by the time I got to the mall, I was just like, oh, I'm tired. That rock was heavy. There was so much thinking I put into this stupid rock. And so I get to the mall and I get to Wetzel's Pretzels. But then I see Macy's. And I'm like, oh, I should be making a better choice. I'm going to have to talk about this Thursday. I'm going to have to get on it. I'm going to talk about the stupid rock. And I'm going to have to talk about going to get a pretzel. And I haven't had an episode like this, like an episode recording like this, in a really long time. And I was like, oh, what would future Emily want me to do? Future Emily would not want me to get a pretzel. Okay, fine, future Emily, what do you want? And so I'm outside Macy's and I look inside and I see all the dresses. The like mother of the bride, pre-prom, formal season type dresses there. And I was like, you know what? Let's go try on some dresses that I can fit into. Let's go. Let's find these sizes on the racks. I don't have any reason to buy a dress, but it's really nice to be able to know I can walk into Macy's, pull some dresses off the rack, and try them on. No problem whatsoever. And guess what? That cheered the hell out of me. I was so happy after that of trying on these dresses in a Macy's trying on dressing room area and like the terrible lighting and being like, I'm so pretty in sequins. Where can I wear this dress? Like it was ridiculous. And then I get home and poor Mark has no idea about any of this. He just knows he sent me on like a ride. And so I come in and I tell him, I'm like, yeah, I went on a ride. I went to the woods. I threw a rock. It bounced. And I tried on a bunch of dresses and I didn't get a pretzel. Please don't ask me anymore. That's like my capacity for storytelling.
If you want to know the real story, Mark, listen to Hate to Wait on Monday. You'll get the real story. Okay. There's a lot to unpack in that, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first of all, if I was writing this story, when you heave the rock, you would have heaved the rock. It wouldn't have made the water. It would have landed in the mud, and the mud would have sprayed all over you. And then you would have just looked down and went, oh.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like, the mud would have made sense to me because it was just so terrible. It was the fact that, like, I knew there was no indication that this pond was frozen. None. It looked like a nice, calm
Really?
pond.
You couldn't tell that it had ice on it? That's amazing.
Because it was almost dark. Because it was like 4:30 at night. So it was almost dark. So to me, I'm just like, I'm going to throw this rock in. And it's going to make a splash. And it's going to be so calming. And I'm just going to let it go. And I'm going to watch the ripples. The ripples on the fucking ice don't happen. So there was that.
All right. So here's one of the things that I had for discussion today. And it's bad, better, best decisions. Mm-hmm. And you just went through that.
I did. Yeah.
Right? You had a bad day and you just, the bad decision. I don't care.
I'm not even sorry.
I'm going to eat outside my window. So then you decide to go to the mall and get a pretzel.
But here's the thing. If I'm going to eat outside my window, and I did notice this thought pattern. If I was going to eat outside my window, I'm going to make it count. It's not just going to be like a handful of goldfish crackers on a whim because my kid like has goldfish crackers. It's going to be like, no, if I'm going to eat outside my window, it's going to be the most amazing food I can think of. And at the time, it was a mall pretzel.
Hey, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have put on an eating exhibition this week because Sam's here. Like, we're pulling out all the stops. Mm-hmm. And for the Super Bowl, I decided to go back to Taco Bell and get that big giant shirt box of nachos. I'll never do that again.
You have to stop at the nacho.
I know. I want a nacho thing. And then when Sam came here, they don't have Krispy Kremes in Canada.
I saw you guys went to Krispy Kreme.
So we went to Krispy Kreme. The hot light was on. We went through. We got a dozen donuts, and they're amazing. They're so sugary. It's crazy.
I know. I'm so glad. I'm like heartbroken and sad that our one Krispy Kreme closed maybe 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah, and we went through and the hot light was on and, we got donuts and it was, like I said, it was a neat little thing. And she posted it for Lisa, and then they talked about it on the show. But it's been okay, and we've bought. Sam goes to me, I went out and bought groceries and put groceries in the refrigerator and everything. And Sam comes in and she's like, we don't have any, there's no food in this house. I'm like, there's no food in this house. You can't imagine how much food is in this house now compared to what we did. So there was dude cooking going on. I mean, we make breakfast, we've made lunch, we've ordered in and stuff like that. But I really have not, well, first of all, one meal a day was out the window.
Oh, yeah.
But I do believe that I'm kind of staying in my window or within. And like when I got up this morning and I came and Sam says, all right, did you get on the scale and weigh yourself? I said, not yet. I'm trying to psych myself up to step on that scale because I'm thinking like plus 10 pounds, and it wasn't. I can't tell you what it is until later, but it wasn't that. So one of the things is like bad, better, best decisions. Instead of going out every morning for breakfast and eating these big, large breakfasts, we would make something here. And, we would go out and get something, but it would be something that was really good, that we really both enjoyed. So I still, even though I'm off plan this week, I'm still looking at what's bad, what's better, and what's the best. If I can't make the best decision, at least I can make a better decision than the bad decision. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like what you did.
Yeah.
Although when that rock hit the lake, didn't it make like a crack sound on the ice?
No. Well, yeah, it did. It had like a little crack, and then it just
like kind of bounced.
Puttered across. Yeah. It was the saddest thing in the entire world. It was like the wind was just knocked out of all my sails. And the thing is, you can't even be angry anymore at that point. You're just like, what? Like, really? So then I had to stare at this stupid rock that I had put all of my emotions into and just sitting there. And I passed by the next day, and thank God it had melted a little. So you see like this hole where the rock finally went down, and I'm driving by and I'm like, that's right.
Oh my God.
It's like the dumbest story. And I'm not going to lie, I might repeat it again when I get pissed off. I'm like, I'm going to find a rock, and this time it's going to break that ice. Believe me.
I think about there's a video of a girl. She's in a bikini. She takes off like her wrap and she runs and she goes to do a cannonball.
Yeah.
And hits the ice and then cracks her head and slides, and then you never see what happens afterwards because I'm sure she was really hurt because that looked like it hurt. I was like, oh my God. But it kind of is like the same thing. Like you think she's going to go in the water, and then she just kind of bounced. But at least, because sometimes when you hit that ice, it makes like a different sound, almost like a lightsaber sound. It makes when a lightsaber hits another lightsaber. Okay. No, it's just when it hits, it's really weird. But again, I like the way you were getting your frustrations out.
It was a healthy way that didn't harm anyone. It was weird, and like I also wanted to make sure that no cars were passing by to see this random person on the side of the road throw a heavy object into a lake. Like
I'd have paid money to see that video
at dusk. I like, and the thing is, I realized how weird I looked and how weird it felt, but at the same time, it's just like I have so many emotions. I'm just gonna do this. It feels like better than anything else right now, and it's not very destructive. Like Emily gets so mad she throws rocks into lakes. Okay.
Well, okay, right. But before you would go eat a bunch of pretzels.
I would eat. Yeah, that's right. That's the other thing I have to think about. I would eat a bunch of pretzels or eat everything or order pizza or drink or smoke or like all the terrible vices I used to do that I don't do anymore. And now my vices are yoga and throwing rocks into a lake and drinking tea.
Okay, so if you think about it, what is more stupid, throwing a rock into a lake or ordering a whole pizza and eating it?
Oh, I'll take the rock anytime.
Absolutely.
I find the story just so like,
you gotta be kidding me.
It fucking bounced. That's all.
To see you in a fit of rage throw a big rock into a lake and watch it bounce and then be pissed off that you didn't get a splash? I'm sorry, that's grade A comedy right there.
that was pretty much it. And the thing is, like, me getting pissed when no one's around there's nobody to like shock. So when there's nobody to shock or get pissed, like, oh, I'm pissed, I want other people to know. But when it's just me, I'm just like,
See, here's the thing. I'm not sure I could handle pissed off Emily. Like, I'm so used to you, nice Emily, calm Emily. I think pissed off Emily would scare me, and then I would be immediately trying to do anything. What can I do? Here's a rock. Throw a rock. I'll find a lake that has.
I know. No, I feel
find
like
some
that's
water.
what Mark's gonna do because he has so much fun with this story now that he's like telling people at work about the day and my wife because they all know me, so they also can't picture like angry Emily.
No, I can't. And so when I see that, like so when you came on this morning, you had a look about you. It was a look I've never seen before. And I was like, whoa, it made me, step back a little bit. So to find out what was going on.
Yeah. I mean, there was just a lot of stuff. Like the big thing was we had a disagreement with Mark's parents the day before. And I'm just like, we're leaving for Disney in 5 days. Like, what are you doing? We're all going to be together for a week in this hotel suite. Like, no, we will all get along. God damn it. But yeah. But
Okay,
actually, yeah.
So let's set some expectations for this vacation.
Yes, I need to do that majorly for sure.
Because it's not going to be a great vacation.
No, and I knew that. That's the thing. Is like
Okay.
everyone's like, "Are you excited? You're going to Disney. You've never been to Disney before." And I'm like, "It's not a vacation for me." I don't think people understand that it's not a vacation for me.
Right. A vacation for you is you and Mark going to Disneyland and being able to go do all the things that you want to do.
A vacation for us is we're going in June to a nice Vermont wedding in the woods. All the woods I want, all the rocks, all the lakes I want. Up in Vermont, Airbnb, no kids. That's the vacation I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to this for sure. It's going to be exciting and awesome, but like, if we're talking dream vacation for Emily, no, like a rainy day on a castle when plans are canceled, reading a book in the dark alone. That's Emily's dream vacation right there.
Right. So you add the children, so
Yeah.
they're stressed. Now you have the in-laws, that's stressed. Now you have Mark's sister and family, more stress. Because when you get that many people together, everybody wants to do something different. Somebody's going to be disappointed.
And I love them. I love
No, I'm
Mark's
not saying.
family. I know. I'm just saying I love Mark's family a lot. This is like anybody, if you're with family members, extended family for many days, you could love them to death and they could be wonderful people, but it's still something that's like, it's out of the norm. We're all going to be adjusting. We're going to have adjustments to the time zones, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be big. But again, here's the thing. When you after it's done and the pictures and you look you'll look back fondly of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in it, it's not, I kind of think it's almost like when no, I can't say that. All right. Cause I can't say this because I don't have any idea, but women tell me that childbirth is like really, really bad. And then afterwards you forget about all the pain and it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I don't know that, but I've heard that. It's not on the same level, ladies. Don't send any hate mail. I'm just trying to say that going through it is not the best, but afterwards, the memories that you make are going to be wonderful.
That's the thing. Is like we are stressed out and killing ourselves because we want to have a good time. God damn it. Like we're doing this also so we can have a good time.
There. All this nutsness, this is also we can have a good time.
Honestly, I didn't vacation as a kid, but I watched enough sitcoms and enough movies and Chevy Chase specials to know that vacations, like, I'm probably more happy staying at home and not doing anything different. But I know that, like, it's going to be an adventure. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have so many great memories, and the kids are going to see Disney, and I'm going to geek out as much as I possibly can at Harry Potter World, which is really where like, I want to go. That's where I want to go.
Sure. I think when I'm trying to remember, we took the kids to Disney World in Florida. The twins were like 3. And so that means Megan was 4, Christina was 5 or 6. And they were all young and we had strollers and we had to watch them and keep them. And, I remember when we were there trying to keep everybody together because we were with my ex-wife's family, and there was kids there and all. And so it was just you were constantly on alert to see, that one don't get away, like a kid doesn't wander off, or, so you're always in that kind of mode. But they had a great time. And, afterwards, like I think back on that vacation, and it was a lot of fun. All right. But at the time, I remember being highly vigilant about where everybody was and, trying to wrangle. I'm trying to think. There was my five, and then 3 from my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, but they were older. So they kind of helped, but then they would go off on, it was weird. You're still responsible for everything. And you're just keeping a wide, like I felt like that I was the Papa Bear.
Yeah.
Like I kind of stood back and made sure everybody was where they were supposed to be and nobody was wandering off. But I say that I know this is stressful, but once you get done and through this, you'll love it. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
So what else did you throw this week?
That was it. I threw a rock into a lake. And you know what? It's also a step up, if anybody remembers a very early episode of Hate to Wait, where I threw a pen once and it broke my computer monitor. So
I was there for that.
At least I'm not breaking $400 monitors anymore. I'm just breaking the ice with some rocks.
Right. Well, that one everybody heard except me. Because
I muted the microphone for you for when I broke the monitor with my pen. And for those who don't know, this was a pre-show of Hate to Wait, which is why you should come to our live show Thursdays in the Hate to Wait discussion group on Facebook at 11 a.m. Just to plug that right there. But yeah, I muted myself for John, so John couldn't hear me talking to my mom, but I didn't mute myself for the live. At the time, we were going live through another program called OBS, and so my microphone was live for everybody else, talking to my mom, really not talking that much, just going, yep, Mom, I gotta go, and getting to the point of frustration, and then bouncing my pen off my desk, because I'm like, I just need a way to get out frustration right this second. Let me bounce this pen off my desk. And I bounced it with such force that it broke my computer monitor, or at least it put a little scratch in it and actually ruined it. So there's that story for you, everyone.
That's quite the force.
Mm-hmm.
Just so everybody knows. It's a lot.
Yeah. I think that yoga is actually coming in. Like, yoga is a nice, gentle exercise that calms me down, but there's strength building. I'm actually seeing the more I'm losing weight, I'm actually getting some strength. Plus, I have this 40-pound toddler who's just gigantic, and a 20-pound cat. Mark and I were talking about just our backs hurt all the time from picking up the cat and the toddler. We're like, I've never had back problems before them.
All right, so here's a question. So you're going to be on vacation. How are you going to handle intermittent fasting? Are you even going to worry about it?
Yeah, that's interesting because, first of all, it's California, so it's a 3-hour time difference for me. So when my window opens here at 10 o'clock, it would open there at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I might be up, but I'm probably not going to want to eat at that point because we're going to want breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I think I'm going to adjust my window, the time. I think I'm still going to keep it 6 hours, but I'm going to adjust it for California. And actually, I don't really have to worry about going to California and eating later. That's fine because that first day I'll have probably 18, 20 hours of fasting. It's coming back that I'm going to have to remember, okay, if I eat at 4 in California, I have to remember that it's 7 o'clock in Connecticut. So the next day I don't have to eat, or I can't eat until 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Connecticut time. So you know what? I can't do podcast math, but I can do intermittent fasting math. As soon as you add food to the equation, literally, I can do math. I'll tell you what I can eat.
All right. I just wasn't sure if you were even going to try to maintain that, because I knew that
it feels better. It feels good. If I eat outside my window now, I don't feel my best, and I kind of want that for vacation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look at you now. It's become a habit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really become a habit that you don't even want to. Like for me, it's still kind of an annoyance in a way. And when I say an annoyance, it's because not the intermittent fasting is annoyance. It's annoyance when life gets in the way.
Yeah.
You know, when Sam's here and we didn't get a chance. We were doing a bunch of stuff and the window closes and we still haven't eaten yet. You know, I'm not going to say, well, sorry, Sam. Well, we'll get it at breakfast.
Yeah, no, that sucks. And I would hate to do that to my family too, especially on vacation. So I might even open it up to 8 hours. And even saying that, I'm not too worried because I know that it's so easy for me to.
And you're going to be doing so much walking and so much. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not too worried about it.
No, I have a feeling that, yeah. So, yeah, I was just wondering how you were going to handle that with the family. Trying to explain to them, oh, sorry, I'm not eating because my window closed.
They know at this point. We are very close to Mark's family, so they know with my window, and if I don't eat, it's totally fine. And hopefully they've all gotten over that uncomfortable feeling. When someone's not eating, it's more uncomfortable for them than it is for me at this point. Like, I don't care going to restaurants and hanging out with people and just sitting there with a seltzer and being like, I'm sorry. Well, it does sound pretentious when I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't want this seltzer with lime. Can you bring me a fresh one without a lime? Because if I drink any of the lime juice, it ruins my fasting window. Like, I don't do that to the extent of annoying people around me. I'll take the lime out and just sit there in silence and grumble.
Karen at table 4 would like a seltzer without a lime.
Exactly. I don't want to be Karen. Because I also know what happens to Karens. They're not going to pour a fresh one. They're going to take out the lime and maybe add a little like TGI Friday spit in there. So,
Exactly. That's why I don't do it either.
I'm sorry, TGI Friday. I just always picture it you being the ones who are like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll take that lime out for you right now. So sorry about that. Sorry, TGI Friday.
Okay. All right, we like last week, we had a ton of stuff to get to. And so is there anything else in your week that you need to get to?
No, those were all my Post-it notes because I realized I had to keep it short. So I was like, you only get 4 Post-it notes this week, Emily. 4.
That's it?
That's it.
If you need more, you can take more.
No, I don't want more. Because I didn't even get to the show notes for last week. I put out the episode and the show notes just say, sorry, guys, they'll be up eventually.
That's fine.
I don't know if you've even seen the tweet from the week before. Like, honestly, this show gets pushed to the very last minute for everything at this point because it's just been so crazy. So the tweet for the last week before was like, sorry, guys, I have to come up with a promotional tweet for this week's episode, but my toddler is screaming. So just click here to listen to us be funny. Like something like that. It was so and it was just like, I gotta go. John will understand.
John doesn't even care.
Our audience gets us. They know at this point.
Exactly. All right. Do we want to get into some Winning Wednesdays?
We sure do. Let's take the focus off of me. Oh, I'd love that.
Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday.
We got 10 this week.
Yeah, we got a lot. And in fact, we didn't even talk about this, but our accountability challenge, we are on day 4. Today it's Thursday. We're on day 4 of our accountability challenge. So we have people checking in all week long. We have posts that go out at 9 p.m. for everybody to check in for the day. They set a goal on Sunday and they're checking in. So I hope it's been going great. I hope everyone's liking it.
I have been reading them. I didn't check in because I was not accountable this week. I was unaccountable.
I didn't pick a goal. My goal right now is just to survive. Like, there are going to be weeks. I knew this with parenthood. Like, there are just going to be weeks where you have to be in survival mode. Like, I just have to get this. So that's like kind of my goal this week is like, it's just survival mode. That's all.
I got it. All right, I'll start it off.
Yeah.
Patricia, down 3 pounds.
Joanne, going to Slimming World group shortly, so I will update you soon on my way-in. Lost 1.5 pounds. I've lost 2 stone, 5 pounds, and only 1 stone, 1 pound to go to Target. This is happening. And I love the measurement of stone. I believe it's 16 pounds in American, so if you lose a stone, that's significant. That's like a lot. I'm trying to think that's probably a few months worth of work right there, right? For a stone.
She threw 2 stones in a lake.
Oh gosh, the stone thing. I didn't even think of that. John, you're a comedic genius. Of course you made that connection. Brilliant.
Teresa says, focusing on reducing stress this week has been a real eye-opener. I find I'm happier and have a lot more energy than I have had lately. People even commented that I look more fit, seem more energetic just in this short time. I don't think I've been losing weight on a scale, but I've been losing weight in life.
Yes. Yay. Ingrid said had a tough week, but logged almost 30 miles on bike. Wow.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Jennifer, today is my birthday, and I am celebrating the day, and we'll indulge on some shrimp chimichangas with cake tonight. I'll be right back to IF and LCHF tomorrow. Low carb,
High fat?
low carb, high fat. Thank you. I couldn't figure what that was.
Yeah. IF is intermittent fasting, by the way, for anybody wondering about that. Yeah.
Okay. I was down 9 pounds total in January, and my goal is to be in a new second number by the end of February. But first, cake.
Yay! And happy birthday, Jennifer.
Yes, happy birthday, Jennifer.
Deborah says, I kept myself in check on Super Bowl Sunday, IF and all. How about them Chiefs? My throat was in rough shape the next day from joyous screaming. Were you the one in last week's show who's like, I pity whoever's going for the Chiefs? Like, what was that?
Hold on. First, we got to do this.
Yes.
All right. So, yes, the Chiefs won, and congratulations, Deborah. That is a fantastic. I know what that's like because the Eagles won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. I'm not a fan of your coach. We've talked about this before, and I was rooting against you wholeheartedly, and it was a great game through 3 quarters.
It was a very good game. I even was able to pay attention a little bit to it.
Right. And here's the thing. Your team, the Chiefs, are so good that Andy Reid couldn't even screw it up. And I put that meme on my Facebook wall because I'm not okay. And here's another thing, as I'm going to take a tangent. Philadelphia Eagles fans, that's not your coach anymore. That's not your team anymore. You people that decide to take and just be glom onto their win, how dare you? Shame on you. It's not the fact that let them have their win. Andy Reid hasn't been here for years. And now all of a sudden he wins a Super Bowl and everybody's around here in Philadelphia like something happened here. No, your team lost in the first round and you got to get better. All right. You can't just jump on somebody else's team. What a bunch of front runners. Can't stand it. All right. I digress. Let's get back to winning Wednesdays. Anna, I hit my goal I set for my birthday, which is February 10th this week. Okay. Happy birthday. A lot of birthdays.
Yeah.
It is only Wednesday, and I've worked out 3 times already, and I have gone down a dress size.
And Elizabeth says she's down 3.2 pounds, and she's 2 pounds away from 90 pounds total weight loss since 2011. Wow.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. And you know what she goes on? She says, I realize it is an extremely slow weight loss, but, and I want to get rid of that whole first sentence. I'm kind of in editor mode. I want to get rid of everything up to the but, because This is the next part. After dieting through my 20s and 30s, I learned that the faster I lose, the faster I gain it all back with friends. Yeah, that's a big lesson.
That is a big lesson. All right.
Yeah, so please don't ever say it's, I know it's a slow weight loss, because any weight loss is a weight loss, for sure. Any step closer to being healthier.
I, for the first time in a long, long time, weighed less this year than I did last year. And I'm all about that. Yay. All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
All right, so as I mentioned, it was Shark Week for me this week, but I am 0. I'm neither up nor down this week, which is good. And I didn't get on the scale during Shark Week either, because it was just the week of all things terrible, and even a weight loss, even a lower number on the scale, I don't think could have, I just wasn't in that frame of mind where that would have made me feel better, like a rock.
You still get a doot.
I can still get a doot, so yeah, I think that's 0.
Okay, so I have run amok this week. I have eaten way more than I normally do. I have eaten things that I normally wouldn't eat. I mean, carbs, I've been carbing up, and I figured when I got on the scale today, I would be plus 10 pounds. I am not. I am plus 2.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Taking that as a win.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And then next week, I'm going to try to get back on the schedule, but I'm not going to lie. I told Samantha this morning that I want to kidnap her, and is it really kidnapping? I want to keep her here.
Canadian nap.
Yeah, I'm going to Canuck nap.
Gonna nap.
So, okay.
We've
so we
got
have to
Tim
talk.
Hortons. Come on. Tim Hortons and hockey right in this white van over here. Come on, Sam.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? She's not even a fan of hockey. She doesn't like sports
Then
whatsoever.
Canada's not going to miss her. It's fine.
That's what I said.
I'm so kidding, Lisa. I would never. I'm sorry that we want to keep your friend.
would totally steal Samantha from Canada. I would do it tomorrow if I could. All right. So next week, are you on vacation?
I am. So I'm on vacation next week. This was actually something I wanted to talk to you about. If we want to skip next week, or I don't want to record from Disney, to be honest.
No,
But
no. That's not happening.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't even allow that.
Yeah.
Okay. You're on vacation. You be on vacation.
Yeah. But I do have an appointment tomorrow, and this could get taken out of the show, but I have an appointment tomorrow to check out a podcasting studio near Boston. And I don't have anything to record for it. Like, I don't have the story behind. I really don't. I don't have the story behind. I don't have an episode that, like, you know, that's our Chinese food too. Can I record something for Hate to Wait and just do a solo episode and record it there and put it out next week? Is that cool?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. You can. Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. You can do that. Yeah, because when you come back, that is going to be the show of shows. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Like I said, it's podcasting. We do whatever we want. If you know, it'll be in your feed or it won't be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There you
So
go. And if it's not, you understand it. Emily's in Disneyland, and John doesn't do solo podcasts.
I know I happily do solo podcasts, but I always feel weird. I'm like, John, is it okay? Like, I'm not kicking you off the show.
It's fine.
I want to say more things, and you're welcome to say more things and put out an episode if you want. Like,
No, I get it. And listen, like today, I was going to put my hat on, and I'm trying to get used to my balding head, and my short hair.
you know what's funny? I actually think it slims your face.
Okay.
I think it's a nice line. There's no horizontal line to break it up.
Right.
It's nice long lines, John.
Right. But look at that chrome head. So anyhow, I'm trying to get used to the fact I almost shaved my head this past week. I almost shaved it, left the goatee and just went completely bald. But people thank God they talked me out of it. All right. Real quick. We have merch. And if you'd like some, I mean, they have some pretty cool things there. They got the water bottle. They got a travel mug. There's what is that thing called?
We have buttons.
Bag.
We have
Button and a bag. A bag?
a tote bag.
Tote bag.
If it's a
Thank you.
reusable bag, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'll use
it's a
that, 'cause-
reusable tote bag.
Good, because we just got that ban in my area, the plastic bag ban, and I have solved this by just buying a bigger purse because I never remember to bring bags in. But if I have a Hate to Wait bag, I might remember.
I'm so sick of the government and this whole thing about, banning straws and bags and stuff like this. Oh my God, I can't take it anymore. People are. Listen.
Yeah, I don't mind it just because as soon as I'm aware of the problem, I get guilt from it. So I would rather have the ban to be like, okay, good. They'll take care of it for me and it'll be inconvenient for me, but at least I won't feel guilty about like using a straw and killing a fish.
Oh. Jennifer says it does make me look slimmer without the hat.
Well.
How about that?
Well.
There we go. All right. So if you want to go check out our tote bag and our button and our travel mug, and, again, it's just, we put it up there because we thought maybe you'd like something for the show. We put it up there and it is hatetowait.com/merch.
Yep.
All right. And if you want to join the group, it's hatetowait.com/Facebook. And there might be show notes this week. There might not be.
I know. There might be show notes for last week's episode too, but the way my week is going, at least all the ponds around here have unfrozen, so maybe I will get show notes.
There we go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. And there might be an episode out next week, but if not, we'll be back here definitely in 2 weeks to find out when John's alarm goes off, to find out what happened in California. I know. I can't wait. Bye, everyone.
Later, waiters.